Don't you, you hand make these, right?
Yeah, man, I hand make everything. So the burgers have black beans, brown rice, sunflower seeds, onions, and just my own specialty spice mix that I put together to make. Yeah.
How'd you come up with that recipe? Or the ingredients, rather?
It was just trial and error. Like, I wanted to, because you know how they talk about food deserts?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
Yeah, sexy,
when you think about the bodega or the corner store, in every corner store there's beans, there's rice, there's sunflower seeds, there's onions.
Okay.
So I'm like, what can I use that's simple to get that I can find in every store, no matter where I'm at?
Obviously, for people who don't know, you own a vegan restaurant. And so I've had every single menu item on there. First and foremost, I don't eat pork, but it does taste like a pork sandwich.
Right. When it comes to this type of food, mostly it's texture.
Okay.
So when you're talking about the pulled pork, I use a king oyster mushroom. So when I shred it down and bake it to a certain consistency, it'll give you that texture of what pork is supposed to be like.
Okay.
So when it comes to, and the flavors, because if you think about it, if you take a chicken breast and you throw it in a pot, if you don't season it, it don't taste like nothing.
Yeah.
So the seasoning is what brings stuff out. So it's all about, when people think of vegetarian or vegan food, a lot of it be bland because people don't be seasoning their food.
Okay.
So it's like, that's just years of me experimenting, because I've been vegan 7 years now.
Yeah.
So it's just been me in the kitchen, in the lab, just trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, and just getting on YouTube and trying to figure it out. Shit, we in a windy ass spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get this shit lit, like, cause it keeps going out. Just gonna spray it on it. Come on, bruh.
My bad. That happens.
Yo, this dude trying to kill us, yo.
But what caused that transition for you to go to vegan?
I think it was just random. Like at the time, I mean, you knew when I met you, I was doing the leather thing.
Yeah.
So we could
And
go
we'll
into
get it-
we'll get into that. But I was doing the leather thing, and then that had fell off because of some wild shit happening. But then I was just in a down period, and I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm about to do next, but I'm gonna have to figure this thing out. And then I just started watching videos on Dr. Sebi. So I was just watching his lectures, and I was just like, this makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like when you start hearing somebody speaking some truth, it just, something just resonated with me. So I'm like, damn, this can't, I'm like, all this stuff happening in my neighborhood, because a lot of people sick, my family's sick, my mother, my father, my grandmother. So I'm like, food can't be the simple answer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it actually is.
So how is food the solution?
Food is the solution because a lot of the problems that we have in our neighborhoods results from lifestyle.
Okay.
Just the options that we have in the information. So when it comes to health, a lot of the things that plague our communities is diabetes, heart disease, obesity, cancer. A lot of these things are reversible. And a lot of these things come down to what you consume every day and your lifestyle. So I think why I started, because I started with Rebound Recipes, was the show on Instagram. So I was like, how can I do this in a non-judgmental way where I could show people how to make these recipes that I'm making, but not feel like I'm judging people. Like, yo, you don't eat like I eat, so you're wrong. It's like, nah, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna mix basketball, I'm gonna mix cartoons, movies, and I'm gonna make a 60-second clip that's easily digestible, showing you that we can make all the stuff we used to make, like burgers, pizza, chicken sandwiches, but just using other ingredients such as plants. So that the motto for the show was same shit, different ingredients.
Yeah.
So that's why I started the journey, because I felt like I got so much information, and I feel like people just didn't know this information. They think eating healthy means you gotta eat a salad every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, like I'm not missing no meals. I eat a lot of food. It's just I'm using plants to do the same thing that I used to do prior to, you know, me being vegan.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the context. So for those who are listening, I know we're a couple minutes in before doing the intro. We're sitting with one of my good friends, Jason, also a mentor of mine. I followed your journey through since college, but even before then, Jason's history goes way back from when he was living in Newark, going to St. Benedict's, growing up in an environment that most people really you wouldn't say historically would start vegan restaurants or have the same kind of trials and tribulations you did and where you got to. So I want to definitely give you your flowers and say congratulations on where you are.
Appreciate it.
For opening up a vegan restaurant. It's located in South Orange, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about, and let's take it all the way back, like before you even get into designing rebound recipes, and those look really, really good, actually.
Thank you, sir.
You think those done?
Yeah, they done.
Cool.
Let me throw some buns in there just to toast them.
How did you use basketball as your vessel to help you escape a lot of the stuff that you was going through growing up in Newark?
I really started coming outside at like the age of like maybe 10 or 11, like really being able to go outside by myself and like ride my bike and my mother being okay with me going. So the court was like my sanctuary, to be honest. Like when you grew up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, a lot of dudes is either you in a gang or you running with a crew or you just doing dumb shit. So basketball was almost like a protection. It was almost like a armor that you could wear because people would see me be like, oh, nah, don't mess with him. He be at the basketball court.
Yeah.
And I think basketball courts, especially back around that time when I was coming up, basketball courts, it was just like one of those safe havens in the hood. It was kind of like a barbershop or, you know what I mean, somewhere where people would go where it was just neutral ground, where ain't nobody doing no stupid stuff, and we could just have fun. And I was just always known as the kid that played basketball in the neighborhood. So we not gonna mess with him. I'm not on no tough guy stuff. I'm not on none of that. But I hung around all those type of dudes. But they knew like, yo, you know what? He loves the game of basketball. So we gonna leave him alone. So I would be at the park from sun up to sundown. And around that time, the N1 mixtape started coming out. So we was collecting those. So we would go to watch the N1 mixtapes, head back to the park, we practicing. I don't even think we would take a jump shot some days. We was just trying to be like, skip to my Lou and hot sauce, and we was just watching all of those things. So basketball was really my refuge. Basketball was my sanctuary. The foul shot, just shooting foul shots by myself sometimes. It was my first sense of therapy, because you know everybody talking about therapy and mental health now. We ain't had that when I was coming up, so just going out there shooting a lot of times by myself was just therapy, where I could think, where I could get my thoughts, where I could just think about the world as a young kid. So that's where the love for the game started. And my dad making me watch Showtime on NBC. Okay. So it was like da-na-na-na-na-na-na. So when I was a kid watching that, watching Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller, Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway, like those early Knick Heat battles. It was just the craziest thing to me. Like I was glued to the TV because my pops put me in front of it at the age of 6. So that stuff really got me into the game at a young age.
How do you feel like basketball, or do you even feel like basketball led you to become a leather goods designer? Because when I first met you and you had started Herds of the Fathers, I've never met anybody that looked like me that I thought was like a peer or a mentor or even a college student or anything like that, starting a leather goods store. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people will start like clothing line here, fashion label there, but you took an alternative route that I've never seen, and then also blew up in your own space. Like you own that space. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like basketball led to that, or what was the influence behind that?
When it came to Herds, basketball in a way influenced it, because what started the idea, it was like winter break. I don't know if this was 07, it might have been 07 or 08. We was on winter break, we was bored, we was playing NBA 2K at the time in the dorms, because a lot of times you be on break, but you still didn't want to go home. So we was staying in Rockoff at that time, and we was just playing, we was just on a game, and then my business partner at the time, Toby, he walked in with a leather bag, and I was just like, yo, where you get that? And he was just like, man, I picked this up at the thrift. And he was just saying like, yo, I wish I could make something like this. And I don't know, a light bulb just went off in my head. And I was just like, yo, I think we should start something. Like at first, because at the time in school, I was a political science major. I thought I was gonna be a lawyer. And I realized real early I probably wasn't gonna do that. I just didn't have the patience for it. So that just lit a spark in me. And at the time, my boy Phil, He was doing a war tour. He was doing, and that was long before Madberry Club, Flatbush Zombies,
Yeah,
all that stuff. Like, those dudes used to come to campus and I would be around all those guys. All right, there we go, there we go.
I don't think I've ever heard the actual story of how it started, but I've heard the journey in between. Like,
Oh yeah, so I was talking about Phil, right? So yeah, at that time, Phil, like our girlfriends at the time were like best friends. So they was always telling us to meet each other. And I'm like, man, he was younger than me. I'm like, man, I ain't really interested in no double dates right now, man, honestly. Like, I'm not really trying to go no. But eventually we did, and so when I started chilling with him, and he was doing a war tour at this time, I seen this dude make $3K off his laptop from a t-shirt drop. I said, oh, hell nah, nigga, show me how to do that. Like, so once I saw that, that kind of like opened up my mind to like, cause I was still learning at the time. I was on Hypebeast and going on stuff like that, but I ain't understand like the money in it. And he showed me like, listen, bro, I could do $3K worth of tees right here from my room. They ain't even have to go nowhere. So that's when I was like, all right, bet. So we started doing the leather thing. We started searching for, hold on. When I saw Phil, I seen me make $3K in like a couple minutes off some tees. I'm like, all right, I gotta figure this shit out somehow. So I really went to Toby, was like, listen, bro, we gotta figure this out immediately. So we started just looking up different manufacturers, trying to figure this thing out. And we found some manufacturers overseas, and we got our first samples, man. It just changed my life. Like, to think of something, get it and hold it in your hand was like,
you see it come to fruition.
It was like, yo, that has never happened to me in life before that point. Music is definitely intertwined. Like, if we go back to what I was saying about A1 mixtapes, music was intertwined with what was going on at the Rucker, at all these different courts, when they was in Linden, New Jersey, filming as well.
Shout out to Escalade.
Shout out to Escalade. Shout out to Main Event.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like the culture, the music, the game, the entertainment, all of it is fused into this leather ball that we all gravitate towards. So it's definitely awful. I mean, we look at these dudes for what's cool, you know what I mean? They dictate a lot of what's going on in the culture right now. So yeah, I truly believe that it's an art form.
So, in your perspective, right, because it's opened so many doors for you, but do you think it can be a gateway for others, or do you feel like you're an anomaly in like the Neo in the Matrix kind of deal?
Nah, man. I mean, because I always wanted to play ball until I got to like my junior, senior year of high school, and I'm just like, this is a lot of work. It felt like a job at that point. I knew I wasn't going to the league. I went to St. Benedict's Prep.
I felt that.
So you watching people who really about to go to the league play D1 basketball, and you see what it takes to get to that level. And I knew I didn't have what it takes to do that. I didn't have the talent or the work ethic, because I just wanted to play basketball for fun. So I knew I had to figure something out. So I always knew in the back of my mind, like, yo, I'm gonna be a part of basketball in some way or some way, somehow. I just didn't know what I was gonna do. And it just ended up now being a vegan restaurant that I built the basketball court in the restaurant. I have 2 backboards at the top outside, and I did it in an artistic way where I have abstract paintings that show basketball plays that you really can't tell is basketball when you first look at it, but when you take a look at it, it's like, oh, this whole thing is based around basketball. A lot of people walk into the restaurant, they don't even realize that it's a basketball theme, and that's how I wanted to do that. Because there's a borderline between, like, when something is sports theme, it could come out really cheesy sometimes. So you kind of gotta like tiptoe that line where you don't want it to be too in somebody's face where it becomes almost like a theme park. You want it to be an art experience.
It's like a novelty
You want it to be like an art gallery type thing. So I made sure not to do too much where it wasn't obvious, but I feel like this is my way to get back to the game that I've loved my whole entire life.
How were you able to combine elements of basketball, outdoors, and like artwork all into one? Because you can see it in the food. By the way, this is really, really good.
Appreciate it.
It's always consistent, so
Thank you.
never miss. But how are you able to combine all those elements in the food and in the design of it? because I remember you were like, yo, I'm working on this project. You never really told me until like it was time. You know what I'm saying? And I just find it interesting that you were able to combine all those elements into one.
Well, because I think a lot of times when people, especially I was doing the leather before, and sometimes when people try to get into arenas that they may not be known for or is new to them, they try to be something that they're not.
Okay.
So I knew my way to even though the vegan stuff was and vegetarian stuff was something new that I was doing, because everybody was used to me doing the fashion stuff.
Yep.
So I'm like, I took a break from that. I was off the gram for maybe 9-10 months, and I didn't post nothing. I ain't say nothing. I ain't tweet nothing, because I was just trying to figure out, all right, what am I gonna do next? So when it came to start Rebound Recipes, this was like 2016, 2017.
Wait, tell people what Rebound Recipes is.
Rebound Recipes is a cooking show that I started on Instagram, just showing people how to make vegan food. So the tagline for it was same shit, different ingredients. So basically I was mixing sports, I was mixing cartoons, movies, all of these things, and trying to wrap something unfamiliar, which is vegan food, in things that are familiar to us, which is basketball, movies, cartoons that we all grew up on.
So it resonates with people.
It resonates with people. So it's like, oh, I know this. This is nostalgic. I kind of know where that's from, but I'm wrapping something that you're not familiar with up in something that's unfamiliar. I'm wrapping something that's unfamiliar in things that are familiar.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, let me just stick to basketball. That's what I know. I'm not big in this vegan world. I don't know too much other than what I've been practicing. But what I do know is basketball. So, and I do know that when it comes to health, a lot of men, it's a little harder for us to get within that space. Because women, they always looking for some new diets to do, because they always, that's just, I think society putting that pressure on them. But men, we just be like, listen, we could have a beer belly down to our knees. She gonna love us regardless.
I don't want that.
You know what I mean? We ain't really thinking like, yo, we gotta do all this stuff. But I'm like, how can I create something that's an icebreaker into this world that I've just stepped in, that I think could benefit my peers and my friends, without it being something that seems too out there that they couldn't understand.
That's interesting, but what I guess, because we're here, right? Like you have the restaurant.
Yeah.
But what were the challenges that you had to go to? Especially you said like you're known as someone who created a successful leather good company, and now you transition into a world that like they're polar opposites. They don't even make sense, right?
Yeah.
So like, what were some of the challenges from transitioning to I think I want to design and be in the accessories industry. Now I'm going to combine everything I've learned and just go completely left. Well, yeah, completely left.
I think it was. I mean, the initial challenge was just insecurity, because when you put your life into something for 5-6 years and then you're not doing that thing anymore, it becomes a lot. You start to question yourself. You start to doubt yourself. Like, man, this is what I was known for. Am I going to be able to do anything else? And so the initial challenges was just battling my own doubt.
Like,
and I remember
identity?
My identity, figuring out, what it is this like the right move? Are people gonna like this because they know me for one thing? And even when I posted my first recipe video, I lost a bunch of followers because they was just like, bro, we ain't following you for this cooking shit. Like, we following you for the fashion. Like, what's going on?
Stick to designing.
Stick to designing, bro. What's this shit you on now? So that was a hurdle. Even the first episode, I wasn't gonna put it out. I remember I shot it. I looked at it 1,000 times. I showed my girl, and she was just like, yeah, I like it, go with it. I'm like, you supposed to say that, like, you my girl, like, you gonna say it's good just because. So I remember I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna post a teaser, I'm gonna post a Rebound Recipes flyer on my Insta story. And if nobody responds to this shit, I'm not putting it up.
Okay.
So I put it up, I'm waiting, nobody responded to it. It wasn't until my homegirl, Gia Peppers, shout out to Gia, she was the only person that she sent like a prayer emoji or some hands emoji. She was the only person who responded to it. And that's what made me post the first episode. Like Gia, and how that's connected to basketball, Gia was the in-game announcer for the Washington Wizards.
Word.
So she's worked for everybody, Essence, E, VH1, she interviews all the stars. Like Gia, she's up. Like she's the next Oprah. Like I'm telling you, she's gonna be bigger than Oprah. She's gonna be her own media conglomerate. But if it wasn't for Gia sending me those, it was an emoji of encouragement. It wasn't even words of encouragement. It was emoji.
But all it took is one.
All it took was one, because I was not gonna post it And she was the only person. And I was like, all right, let's go. Let's put it out. And I put it out, and I just didn't look at my phone for like a day because I was just so nervous. Like,
But you got positive feedback.
but I got positive feedback. And so I just kept learning from there. But you want to go in the challenges of the restaurant or just taking on the...
In general, because like, you wear different hats, right? Like, you got the urban planning, environmental thing that we'll get into, especially now when you're on a basketball court.
Yes.
You have your artistic side of things when it comes to like design and wanting to combine elements into your food. Like being able to craft food is an art regardless, right?
Yeah.
The whole purpose of this show and the podcast is to help people really get a better perspective on all the guests that we bring on the show, the topics, and help them understand or helping them digest and consume art. Like, that's why I'm asking, like, a lot of people might not consider basketball art. A lot of people will take this episode and say like, damn, like the things that I do, whether it be tennis or running or football, will be a gateway to something else that I didn't even know I might either like or it gives me the strength to try something. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it could be like from basketball or you like to run or football or tennis. People could use a sport, you know, people listening to this could be like, you know what, I can do something or I can use this as a strength. You know, all the conditioning and hard work I put in, I'm just gonna replicate my hard work and just dive into something new. So that's what I'm saying, it's important when people are hearing and listening to this, like, you know, you had some challenges with the restaurant, right? Like, we don't gotta get into the operational challenges, right? But like from like, what was the tipping point to get you to go do it? And you saying like, all it took was one person. You know how many times I've heard of stories like, oh, all I need is like one person to do this for me, and then like it will make my day, right? Or like how many no's you get on a daily basis, but one yes could change your life. So all that's super, super important because at the end of the day, how many times do you think people give up on their dreams on a daily basis?
All the time. And so you're right. So the challenges as far as like getting the thing off the ground, man, it was just hearing no constantly. Because I have this show. I ain't never worked in no restaurant. I don't have no experience catering, nothing. I had zero experience. I was literally YouTube University looking up these recipes and then adding my own flavor to it because I just didn't feel like they tasted good enough. And then the tipping point for me was when my father, he came back from Africa because he'd been retired. He went back because he was just like, yo, I'm tired of America. I ain't dealing with this stress no more. I'm out of here.
The Dave Chappelle?
Right. He was on his Dave Chappelle shit. So he went back to Africa, came back because he was having heart issues. So like my father was an athlete. He played soccer.
Yeah.
So I've always known my dad to be this strong athlete my whole life. And then when he came back and I seen him in such like a weakened state because of his heart not functioning the way that it should, it just really inspired something in me to like, because I really thought like this could be it for me. I might never be able to see my dad again. This might be the last. So just watching him on the bed and having him fight through that, and then I was making him food to eat. So when I was making the food, he had never tasted my food. My dad was like making fun of me, like, you in the kitchen? Like, what you doing? Like, bro, what's up with you, bro? You was playing ball? Like, what happened? Like, and I was just like, Dad, like, this is just what I'm on now. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm thinking this is it. This is what's gonna take me to the next level. And not even a next level thing, I just felt like it just made me feel human, bro. Because even when I was doing the fashion shit, it was cool. Like, people was buying the bags and our boots and everything, but I didn't feel like I was adding anything to the world, like changing the world in any way.
That's interesting, though.
I just felt like, yo, I'm selling some dope shit, but it's not impacting anything.
That's an interesting concept.
So,
that's like actually a really good concept we got to come back to. But
so it's like, now I'm doing something where I'm in real time, I'm handing somebody something, they're eating it, and it's changing the very makeup of their physical body.
Yeah.
It's adding fuel to them. It's giving them joy. It's like you said, creating art that you can eat.
Right.
So that just gave me a different sense of fulfillment than the fashion ever did. Seeing him in the hospital bed, I was like, all right, you know what? I got to do something. And so that's when I decided to do the Kickstarter. Yeah. And I launched the Kickstarter campaign. I did it on Kickstarter because like GoFundMe and all that stuff, if you don't reach your goal, you could still get paid. I wanted to do Kickstarter because if you fall even $1 below your goal, you won't get your money.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta put a number up that's not easy, because I could have put up 1,000, 2,000, I felt that's doable. I'm gonna put up a number like 10 grand that's attainable, but it's not gonna be easy, and see if people really mess with this vision.
Yeah.
So those 4 or 5 years I was doing Rebound Recipes, those people now, I'm like, I never asked them for a dime. I did it out of the love, just free, just wanting to show people, showing people where to eat. I made so much content in those 4 or 5 years.
I remember.
So much content. And that's something that I learned from Gary Vee, who's also another Jersey legend.
Yes, sir. Wine Library.
I read his book called Jab, Jab, Hook. And he was just like, it's about content. It's about content. And this before people was even saying content. Yeah. He was like, it's about giving people value, not even content. He was saying it's about giving people value. You give people so much value for free, when you come around, that's the jab. You keep jabbing, keep jabbing, keep jabbing. When you come around for the hook, and then you ask for the money, it's not gonna be anything, because they're gonna be like, Jason has added so much value to my life that now I wanna give.
Yeah.
It makes sense now. He never asked me for a dime. People was DMing me around this time like, Jason, you changed the way I feed my kids. You changed the way I looked at vegetables. I didn't even know like a smoothie a day could like do so much for me. You know, because in the beginning, people were sending me like pictures of chicken, like a fried chicken wing, but it was in the shape of lettuce. It was a lettuce in the shape of a chicken wing, like, oh, this how you gonna be eating, making fun of me. And then the same people hit me up 6 months later like, yo, bro, I just came from the doctor and now I'm on like low dose blood pressure pills and I'm 30.
Yeah.
It's like, can you teach me? I was sending people meal plans, bro. I was sending people grocery lists. I was doing all of this for free. I wasn't asking for no money, because I understood like I just want to add value to people's lives, because I know when I come around on the back end and ask for the money, it's not gonna be anything. So when it was time to do the Kickstarter and raise that 10 grand, people I never met in my life was sending me $500, $100, $75. People that was like, yo, I've been watching your show all the time. I've been following you since Herds, bro.
Yeah.
I've been watching you transition to this new way of life, and I was just interested to see where you was gonna go with this shit. And they was giving money, but it wasn't easy. Like, people think you put a Kickstarter up and people just gonna gravitate. You gonna keep posting the link, and nah, bro, you gotta pick that phone up, and you gotta go down your list, and you gotta call people. And whoever number, you don't gotta DM them, be like, can I get your number? Can I talk to you for a second? You gonna get a lot of no's, believe me. You gonna get a lot of, yo, I'm gonna talk to you later. But I called over 250 people, maybe close to 300 people, and I pitched Michezo to each and every single one of them. I'm like, let me get 10 minutes of your time. And you know, everybody done heard that before. Like, I ain't trying to hear that. But I'm like, listen, they'll be like, Jason, I can't do it right now. I'm like, can you do it Friday? They're like, yeah, Friday I'm free. I'm like, Friday what time? 5. Write in my notebook, I'm calling you back Friday at 5. Like, I put in work just calling until I got to that $10,000.
Yeah.
And once I got to that, I'm like, all right, boom. So then I was going around for investors at that time, and still people didn't want to give me money. They're like, well, you never sold nothing. I don't know if this is gonna work. You never did no catering, you never did, which is reasonable.
It's all valid.
It's valid. I'm not, at that time, I'm taking it personal, but then Herds taught me that I couldn't.
Yeah, you
Because
can't.
Herds, the leather shit, I was taking everything personal. I'm like, man, they don't mess with us, man, they ain't posting me, they ain't da-da-da. And I'm like, I can't take this stuff personal. It's a business, I get it. Nobody's gonna hand me 20, 30, 40 grand if I haven't sold anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not gonna happen. I don't even got a deck together. I don't even got a price list of what, I don't have none of that stuff. So that was something I had to learn. Like, I had to get all the numbers right. It had to make sense. I had to investigate and research the vegan industry to make it make sense. So I put all this stuff together, and my girl's brother, he was just like, yo, I see what you're doing. Let me see the numbers. Let me make sure it makes sense. And he was able to come on and invest. And my girl invested too. So I was willing to give away this company at one point, and people just wasn't trying to hear it. So that was like the challenges in the beginning, just getting that initial funding when you don't have a proof of concept.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do that. So I would tell anybody, you know, Rebound Recipes wasn't enough. You gotta have a proof of concept. So whether that's selling out your trunk, whether that's figuring something out, nobody's gonna hand you money unless you got numbers first and foremost. You gotta do the math, it gotta make sense. And you gotta have some type of proof of concept. And I would raise money amongst your friends and family, and just see, if it's a product that people even want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good, because I actually was going to ask you, you had touched on, I wanted to ask, like, if someone was sitting in this position, like, what advice would you give them? And you pretty much touched on it. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I wanted to circle back to was, you mentioned that you were in another industry that was like an art form.
Yeah.
And you said you weren't seeking fulfillment. I mean, you weren't feeling that sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
And you sought other means of trying to be fulfilled on what your purpose is and still giving back and giving art form to somebody.
Right.
What would be your advice if someone's in the same position, if they want to take that leap of faith and they are already doing some dope shit?
I would say, man, you just got to follow your heart, and it got to make sense, and you could take what you're doing and blend it with the next thing you're trying to do. Because with hers, we was doing a lot of visuals. We was doing a lot of videos, a lot of commercials, a lot of different things that I feel like was ahead of its time, really.
Definitely.
I think we was just too early with that. That's a whole nother conversation. But I took what I learned from the fashion and then just applied it to food. Because now I'm making videos, and I'm like, what could I add to this industry? What could I add to this climate? What could I add to this vegan thing that separates me? And the basketball thing, nobody was blending basketball and vegan food. And I'm just like,
and environmental
shit. So I'm like, okay, now I got a lane.
Yeah.
So now I can carve out a lane and create something that nobody is doing. Right. I could get in the paint. I could make my own lane where it's like, yo, nobody's combining basketball, vegan food, and Africa.
Yeah.
3 things that I love. Yeah. 3 things that are me. So now I'm not pretending. And that's what a lot of people told me in the beginning, like, yo, Jason, this vegan shit, some new shit, and you always on something different, but it don't feel like you on some try hard.
It's natural.
It's natural. It's something completely different than what we expected, but it's you. And it still feels like you. And that was the biggest compliment to me. So, yeah, the leather thing, it was cool. Like, it was like ego driven. You know, the whole fashion thing. Like, even when I
was lit though.
We was lit. I ain't
still
gonna lie.
got a bunch of the bags.
We was lit, and I wish we could have kept going.
You had the paisley on the inside.
It was ahead of its time, man.
Definitely.
It was ahead of its time. Maybe we might bring it back one day. We don't know. Me and Toby talk now all the time. So, but yeah, I was doing that because maybe it wasn't necessarily, but the culture of it. Like, I'll go to these trade shows and I'm just like,
that's not it.
I just didn't feel like I belong there sometimes, man. I'm just like, this ain't for me. You know, I just want to do my thing and just sell these bags to people who I like to sell them to. And, fashion sometimes is weird. It's like, people want you to kind of like shit on them for them to buy your stuff. It's weird dynamic in fashion sometimes, where it's like, the shittier you treat people, the more they want to spend $500 on your t-shirt.
Yeah, but that's not like,
you know what I mean?
That isn't fulfilling.
But that's the game that I just wasn't trying to play. It's like, you gotta not be accessible, you gotta be like elitist culture type, and I just wasn't feeling it, man. And with the food, I felt like I can apply all my creativity to something that needed it, to something that the market was just wide open, the lane was so open. And I'm like, nobody else, none of my peers is even talking like this right now. So let me get in early, build up my equity, build myself up.
You be a pioneer too.
Exactly. So now, this just brings me, when people come into the restaurant, bro, and they like, man, this food, I ain't never had no vegetarian, vegan, nothing like this in my life. I didn't even know you could do this with plants. That's just is a different fulfillment to me. When I see kids eating in the spot, now I'm literally changing the chemical makeup of their body, like physically, just by them coming and eating different type of foods, getting the nutrients that
which we didn't have access to in our neighborhood.
Which we didn't have access to. So that's
damn sure not in Newark.
Definitely not in Newark. So
I saw a C-Town before it changed or
right,
whatever.
It's a C-Town, you know what I mean?
They just started putting avocados in C-Town.
All right. And then they be bad most of the time. You gotta catch it like the first time. First day. So for me, being able to still be a creative, but in a space where I'm fulfilling not only myself but other people and providing an alternative option of what's out there, that just means the world to me.
Okay. And I appreciate that. But one of the things I wanted to touch on too was I guess it's still part of the restaurant, but one of the things that I always admired about you, because I'm the same way, was like your passion and love for the environment and the outdoors, right? Like you always talk about like, I want to have a farm, and you grow in a garden at your beautiful home. And one of the things I wanted to ask you was, you know, in St. Benedict's they have that yearly camping trip. You know, it's like a rite of passage kind of deal.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like that kind of inspired you, like, yo, you know what, I am for the outdoors? Because growing up in Newark, you don't have outdoor, like we do have parks, I'm not gonna lie. You got like Weekway, you got Branch Brook, then you got small auxiliary
but it's just
parks.
different. It's not
exactly.
It's not the Appalachian trip.
Exactly. Like now I'm into birding and shit. Like I got a birding app. I have all trails. Like if somebody asks me my top 3 apps, it's like all outdoor shit, right? And so I think that's important because I had to find that older and like just want to expose myself to that. But I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was one of the things that kind of pushed you, because I wanted to talk about like how you do, like you want to get into urban planning, especially around the basketball court.
Yeah, so I will say that's a good point, man. St. Benedict's, like, I ain't even want to go to that school because it was all boys. I'm like, Mom, come on, Mom. Come on, Ma. Like, I'm trying to be around, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be around the, you know what I mean? And my mom like, you going to this school? I'm like, and literally, it's crazy because my birthday, the 24th of June, literally 20 years ago was my first day at Benedict's.
That's what's up.
To the date. So I started St. Benedict's on my birthday, and we had to do a week, sleep at the school for a week. It was like some hazing shit. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, Mom, like, this is crazy. They got us singing the school song. You could only walk on the right side of the hallway. Your shoulder, you could, if the door you had to get to was on the left,
like some military
you had
shit.
your shoulder had to be touching the wall at all times. So you had to walk around the whole thing to get into the door that was right here on your left. Singing the school songs while you in the hallways at the top of your... Yeah, it was some military shit. But I will say, it was the best experience of my life, man. I'm so thankful that my mom sent me there, because the people I went there with from the age of 13, 14, those are still my brothers now. We still in a big ass group chat. We still chilled. Like, above everything, those are still like my brothers, bro. We used to be in my house 20 deep playing Madden, NBA 2K. My mother would buy us all Chinese food. Or, you know, the glizzies was acceptable back then. We had the 100-pack of the glizzies.
It was a different culture back then.
It was a different culture. We had a 100-pack of the glizzies. My mom would buy them, you know what I mean, boil them up, and we was rocking.
It's easy,
cheap, you know what I mean? So, but Benedict's, I will say, when it comes to that outdoor experience, it changed my life, because that week on the Appalachian Trail, you taking all these kids from Newark, New Jersey, bringing them out to West Bubblefuck, and sleeping out in the woods in a tent for a week. And I was just like, yo, it was just, like, I never experienced the dark like that. Like, because when you in the hood, you got the street lights, so it's never really dark. But out in the woods, it was like pitch black. Like, you had to stop activity at a certain time because...
But it's an overwhelming calm, though.
But it's a calmness, and that's just the natural order of things. And then just being out there with my brothers, walking that trail, it just did something to me. It planted a seed in me that took shape years down the line to where I'm at now as a 34-year-old man, where it was just like, I just felt a calmness. I felt I just felt a connection that I was just like, yo, I'm missing something. This is giving me something that I never thought I needed. And then just the whole veganism thing was just a natural evolution of that just led me to, I just feel better out in the sun. I just feel better around fresh food. I just feel better around nature, around waterfalls, around water. Hearing birds chirping, there's something therapeutic about that, man. Like when I go outside and I'm in my yard and I'm looking at the greenery and it's just quiet and you just hear all the animals and it's deer right there just chilling. It's a fox right there. You might see a bear, you know what I mean? But it's just like that Benedict's experience changed a lot of our lives, which led me to now, as an adult, have a house where I have a house now, which is down the street from the Appalachian Trail that I experienced my freshman year. So it's like everything just came full circle for me, where I want to be outdoors all the time now.
So one of the things I want to touch on, and just like being mindful, because I know we get of this, but So what's next for you, right? Like, a lot of people don't know about Garden State League. I know about it because I was doing the photo shoots with you, going to parks, kicking people off the court and shit. But what's next for Michezo, but also what's next for the urban planning? Because a lot of people don't know that side of Jason that I know that we've had conversations about, and how you want to change the culture of basketball. You want to design courts, you want to design parks for people, give people a sense of community. And I think that's the most important thing, because like where we come from, where there's lack of resources and a lack of a sense of oneness all the time. Like it's like maybe like where you from in your neighborhood, right? But you trying to combine, like you trying to make sure everybody's good from a state level, from a city level, right? So what's next for you in those?
What's next? I'll start with Michezo because it's just simple, and then I get into the urban planning. Michezo, what's next for Michezo, for me personally, is manufacturing and distribution. My goal when I started Rebound Recipes, the #1 goal was, how do I make vegan food easier? And the first step of that was the show. The second step of that is the restaurant, where you can now come in and buy. You may not want to cook the stuff that I showed you on the show, but now you can just come in and buy it. The third now is, how do I get into school cafeterias? How do I get into Nike, Google, Amazon, when you walk into their cafeteria and my crab cakes and my burgers are there? You may not know it's me, but now I done secured a contract for 100,000 crab cakes a year, supplying this headquarters, supplying that headquarters. How do I become a supplier of other people who want to do what I just did with Michezo, but may not know or may not have the means or may not have the necessary skill to do it, but want to still do it? How do I now empower those people where they can come and buy from me? How do I start a subscription service where we dropping off the box of 20 burgers at the first of the month, and now you got burgers for your family, you got crab cakes for your family, you got breakfast sausages that I haven't premiered yet for your family? How do we do that? Because my goal is, how do I get on 1 million plates? How do I do that? And people think I'm crazy when I say that this is a $100 million company. And they're like, how you gonna turn this little cafe in Essex County, New Jersey to $100 million? And how you do that is distribution. Because when you're shipping patties all around the world, that's a different beast right there within itself. And that's the apex of my vision, where it's like, we want veganism for the world. We want it for the world. I want you to walk into your corporate cafeteria and be able to eat my food. I want you to walk into Whole Foods, and when you walk into that hot bar, that's my crab cakes right there. You may not know it's me, but I know it's me. That contract says it's me, but it's not about the fame, it's not about the clout, it's not about the recognition. It's about pushing my vision forward, where we veganism to the world. And then on top of that, we can have a retail product where you go on, it's on the shelf. It's where next to the Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger, and you can buy my stuff right there, because people want alternatives to those products. So it's kind of like Polo. Polo has like 3 or 4 different levels of its brand. So it's like Michezo the restaurant, Michezo the school system, Michezo the distributor, the manufacturer. So all of those things are gonna be under the same umbrella, but it's gonna be different levels of the same vision. And when it comes to the urban development, you already know, like, my love for the game. Every time we always come back to basketball, it's like, I've always just wanted to start a league, man. I've always wanted to design courts, because I feel like they don't put enough time and energy into the design. It's like, we just made this basketball court for you, all right, bet. But it's like, how do we just spice up the design, man? How do we change the imagery, the photos, the videos, the commercials around this shit? So Garden State League is something that I've been sitting on for 10 years, maybe more, like 10 to 15 years now, where I look at a Dykeman, I look at a Drew League, and it's just a shame that New Jersey, with all the NBA talent that comes from here, how we don't have like a league that's internationally recognized. And we need to have one. And the reason why it is because I think we suffer because we're so close to New York. So we always, in Philly, so North Jersey always blending in with New York, South Jersey always blending in with Philly. But people from New Jersey know that we have a completely different culture here. We got our own lingo, we got our own style, we got our own way of playing basketball. So it's like, I always felt like we got the leagues, we got the talent, but where I come in is gonna be the marketing. It's gonna be the aesthetics. It's gonna be making it palatable for everybody. It's gonna be bringing the whole entire state together and not just concentrating on one city. How do we get the whole state under one logo, under one thing? So that's definitely, I don't want to give too much because I don't know who's listening and who's, but you already know what type of time I'm on.
But just the fact that you want to be the beacon and pioneer for that and designing that, like,
yes, sir.
It brings it all back to the artistic value of, like, this started off as just like, for most people, it starts off as just a sport, and sometimes that's all it remains.
Right.
But you use this as something else to catapult your future into, like, so many different lanes and still cycle back to it. But then you learned all the things within your lifetime to add more value to a sport that brought you joy, brought you an escape from, terrible Newark neighborhoods, escape from gangs, right? So, for me, the reason why I really wanted you on this podcast was to really talk about, like, one, that journey, and two, how everything you do, even if you might not think it is, almost bottles into an art, right? And you were able to channel that and make that into something very successful, and I wish you nothing but the utmost success. And you know I'm always going to support you on everything that you do.
Appreciate it,
for me.
brother.
So I really appreciate you for coming on the show. And then one of the things that we wanted to do too was people who are listening or watching, because it's going to be on YouTube and on Spotify, Amazon, etc.
Right.
We wanted to plug like a Look Don't Touch promo code, so you know, like, all right, people really fucking with this, they watching it or whatever.
Word.
But we want you to come up with the promo code.
Oh, Look Don't Touch. Just come into the restaurant, say Look Don't Touch, and I'll give you 20% off, man.
Love that.
So we'll do that for the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks after
it airs.
It airs. So we'll do that.
We gotta edit it, everything.
For 2 weeks, you come into the restaurant, you say Look Don't Touch, and you get 20% off.
Say no more. We appreciate you too,
Appreciate it, brother.
We definitely gotta do something at the restaurant.
Yeah,
I gotta come through. You gotta have a cookout too.
Yeah,
You still owe
we
us.
do, man. We need to cook. I ain't even celebrate, bro. It's just, you already know how hard I
Congratulations on the year, though.
Appreciate it, bro.
I got you.
We here, man. We here. Thank you for having me on.
I got you.
I love, just telling my story, you know what I mean? And it's cool when, like, your peers and your brothers could just feature you before all the big magazines and all that other stuff come. You always look to your left and to your right, because too many times we be focused on trying to get the biggest blog and the biggest this, and you got people right in your circle that's doing things that you could do interviews with, that you could do different things with and build with, and now y'all coming up at the same time, you know what I mean? So,
Appreciate you, my brother, as always.
All right, bro.
All right, let's get up out of here.